So this year with Zegama, I don't know what will happen. It's been a long time since I've been here, and what I do know is that this race is full of very strong Spanish athletes, and regardless of who else comes, they are the main competition for me. I think that the Spanish, the Catalonians, everyone comes to this race and has a very good chance of doing well. So I'm scared for the Spanish. I'm Megan Kimmel. I'm here to run the Zegama race. I live in Colorado in the USA, and I run for Team ASICS. This is my second Zegama. I was here in 2010, but as far as serious running, I would say this is my first year. My first experience was not so good. For me physically, because I had just come from a race in Russia and I was traveling a lot and I was not trained for a running race. This year I came to Zegama, I think because of my past experience and wanting to have a better experience here. Also, the timing is good for me to spread out some of my races. So to have a race in May it's good timing. Right now, I'm mostly a professional runner, and I take care and I remodel an old cabin, an old mountain cabin. Before, I owned a coffee shop until 2014, so that's why I didn't race that much from 2010 to 2014. I was too busy with the coffee shop. In 2013, the work of the coffee shop was too stressful, and I decided it was time to sell and do something new with my life, and also take advantage of running opportunities that I had at the time. I feel very lucky to have this time to run professionally. First, because selling the business left me with a lot of stress, and running professionally has given me a chance to regroup as far as my life goes, and it gives me really good reason to be outside and stay active. No stress compares to my experience owning my coffee shop. So races, although they can be stressful, for me, I look at it as opportunity to travel and to experience more things, and I don't let stress be a part of it. Well, my job in particular, working sometimes 120 hours a week. For my coffee shop, it was so small. It was owner, operator. I cook, I own, I do the books, I'm the barista, all of these things all at once in a small tourist town that is very busy in the summertime. So when in the US we say when it rains it pours, so meaning that it's all or nothing. So in the summertime I got very little sleep and was very stressed out. Yes, I ran, but during those years I would try to do my races early in the spring and late in the fall, and I did not get to come to Europe at all because it was not possible. You know, truly, it's what I wanted to do before I did many other professions. When I was in my 20s, my ideal life would be a professional athlete, so I tried to, back then there was not the opportunities that there are now, so I worked many jobs and I did what I did and then somehow it happened that opportunity came, and so I'm happy to be able to do something that I've always wanted to do. Yeah, for me, to be 35 years old and running in the way that I am, I'm beginning to feel very old. But I don't let that bother me, because there's things that you gain with age, and I have had a lot of experiences in my 20s in which I feel like I've lived a very full life. Yeah, especially women, you know, for women they say actually your endurance peaks later in life. For men, it's in your 20s, but for women you have, you know, into your 40s. So, so I think I have plenty more years to run. My favorite distance, I like to have a lot of different distances. So for me to just do one distance is not enough for me. So my very favorite is about a half marathon. So what would that be? About 20K. But I like to do 10Ks, and the longest is about a 50-mile every once in a while. The hours I train fluctuate with what I have going on for work and life back home. but in general, I would say around 20 hours. No, I don't have a trainer. For so many years, I could not respond to a trainer because my life was too crazy. And only this year have I thought about maybe bringing on a trainer or a coach. I was very into diet before I started racing because I thought it was very, very essential. But then with life happening and I'm so busy that my diet turned out to not be the most crucial element of my training. So as I start to run and I train more, and I have more time to relax and more time to live a more balanced life, now I have diet coming back into play. You never know how long it'll last, and so I guess ultimately what I do know is that what I want with after racing and within racing and for the next part of my life is an opportunity to be able to give back. Before I was in the coffee shop business, I was a massage therapist. And so for me, that's a good profession because I feel like I can help people. So I do look forward to going back into massage therapy for that reason, and also hopefully to do other things for my community and the world. Last year was a whirlwind. I made a decision to go to Europe for 5 weeks and in order to do a couple of races, and I did not know how long that would last, and I ended up doing well in the couple races I went to. And so that kind of tied me into a whole summer of travel and racing, and it was very tiring. I was very tired by the end of the year. It's much different than the United States. Racing in Europe is much more competitive. The races are more intense as far as terrain goes. They're much steeper. In general, they're more technical. And so for me, that's exciting, and that's the way I like to race, and that's the reason for me to come to Europe. In mountain running, I think that Europe is much more competitive. In the United States, it's a much bigger road marathon and track-based like culture. So mountain running is only growing. For women in the United States with mountain running, most U.S. women like to just go uphill. For me, I like to have changes in terrain, so that puts me with desires to be more in Europe than in the United States. I actually like to ski. Where I live, it's a lot of backcountry skiing, which to me is the best thing in the world. And then when I have time, I like to rock climb, and I like to use a mountain bike when I can. My main motivation for running is first for my body and my mind, to make me be the best person I can be and have energy to give back. And then for racing, for experiencing this world and other people.